Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Parenting Caregiver Corner, where I will touch upon hot topics and answer your burning questions. So let's begin by leaving a comment if you grew up with comments such as, "Be home before the streetlights come on," or "I walked home from school during the blizzard of 77, so you can walk home from school today." Just leave a comment if these ring a bell for you. Now, if you are a parent, leave a comment below if you are fearful of your kids walking to the nearest corner store alone, or if you keep your eyes locked on your children when they play at the park. Just leave a comment. Consider how these are different. When reading Dr. Jean Clinton's book, Love Builds Brains, she touched upon this as she compared 4 generations of children who sort of went from a 6-mile walk freedom in 1919 to the end of the street, about a 300-meter walk in 2019. The difference in 4 generations. She suggests that the perception of danger has skyrocketed, and she challenges the readers of her book to ask themselves, is the world actually a scarier place, or do we just believe or perceive that the world is really scary? And are the fears that we have keeping our children from building the essential life skills associated with learning how to take safe risks? She notes how this keeps children closer and closer to home, like in that 4-generation example, and perhaps at some point even stuck within the 4 walls of the home. So if you haven't guessed it, today we are going to talk about healthy risk-taking in the early years. I've shared a resource in the description to support the remainder of this chat. Verywellfamily.com is a website that provides reliable information to parents that is always reviewed by board-certified physicians and family health experts. So here's a synopsis of what they talk about. What exactly do I mean when I say healthy risks? These are the sorts of things that we consider to be healthy risks in early childhood. So the first one is seeking high heights. So I challenge you to ask yourself questions as I go through these. In terms of high heights, ask yourself, do you get nervous when your child climbs to the top of the play structure? Number 2 is having a need for speed. So do you stop your children from riding their bike down a hill or trying a new skateboard trick? Number 3, the use of dangerous tools. So ask yourself, would you be nervous if your child was helping to hammer a nail in the wall? Number 4, playing near or with dangerous elements. So ask yourself, would you be or were you comfortable the first time your child roasted a marshmallow on a campfire? Number 5 is rough and tumble play. So do you get nervous when your children pull on each other or jump on each other when they're playing games? And number 6 is feeling lost or disappearing. So would you be willing to play hide and seek in an open or unfamiliar space? Do you feel like your child absolutely cannot walk out of your sight in the grocery store? And then there's also a very new health risk or healthy risk that could be socialization before the end of the pandemic. It's risky to send our kids to school, but you always sort of have to figure out if the benefit outweighs the risk. So this is a personal decision, as it should be, but it's just interesting to consider this as being a new risk that our children are exposed to in their daily lives amongst climbing high structures or playing with dangerous elements. And obviously some of these examples I've provided are more prevalent for older children, but I just want to discuss why this risky behavior is beneficial to our children and why we shouldn't completely shelter them from risk. So risk-taking promotes physical and emotional health. Let's start with physical. Think of the activities that might include risk. Walking to school alone, climbing a tree, trying new tricks on a skateboard. These all involve physical activity. So discouraging risk-taking can therefore also discourage physical activity. Embrace whatever it is that keeps your children active, even if that means letting them take risks. And then we have emotional health. So risk-taking helps children gain confidence. So when kids take part in risky behavior, there is a lot of opportunity for failure. Perhaps they don't make it across the monkey bars on the first try and they fall and they scuff their knee. But then they try again and again and eventually master that new skill and wind up feeling really great about it. Number 2, it helps them practice persistence and resilience. So in that act of trying again and again and again, they are not only overcoming their fears of falling again and scuffing their knee, but they are actually reducing their own risk instinctively as they proceed gradually. So maybe they start with 3 monkey bars before mastering all 10. The third thing it helps with is problem solving. So a lot of risky behavior requires trial and error, right? Like, how do we get to the top of that hill without slipping? Well, in the process of trying to accomplish this goal, kids are problem solving and using their creativity to make it happen. Number 4, finally, it helps with social interaction. So children can learn to play together as they encourage and help one another to reach these goals. So next time you feel your heart skip a beat or you feel that internal desire to shelter your kids from all boo-boos, scares, or challenges, just remember there are benefits in those moments which often outweigh the risks. To find out more about risk-taking, leave a comment below with your questions and I will address them in future weeks. Bye for now.